What's up, y'all? It's KB. And if you're like me, you love movies. Welcome to another conversation. Feels weird seeing you know, that thing right up there. It's been a minute, but I'm still testing different streaming softwares. So just going back to StreamYard for this one. Riverside is working out okay. I just gotta get used to it. But if any of you tuned in last week, I had Lauren from a Film Freakazoid on Instagram. We use Riverside for that. So if you were here for that, tell me what you think. Um, it's no big deal for me to try to get used to the software. At one time, I didn't know how to use StreamYard. Shout out to Bob's Blu-rays, who gave me the assist on setting up my very first StreamYard. I still remember that, my man. So anyway, on this episode of the conversation, we have a physical media collector. It's a weird time for physical media collectors. It seems like two things are happening at once. We have kind of like a renaissance period where people are saying, I'm tired of paying for 5011 streaming services and still not finding that movie I want, so I'm going to go back and buy Blu-rays or whatever. And then you still hear that physical media is dying, and I've been hearing that for years. So it's nice to be with someone and have a conversation that does all the things that we like. They show their hauls, they show different things that they're watching, and it's not just studio releases, boutique releases. Who I'm talking about is this man right here. We got Jordan from the Movie Den. How's it going, my man?
What's going on, dude? Thanks for
Hey,
having me.
hey, I told you that night. I think we were on Mega Mike's channel, was it?
Yeah, we were doing I think was it a boutique battle?
Yeah, I've been
Yeah,
a judge for a lot of those, so I
yeah,
told you that night, I was like, "I gotta get you on the conversation." I like talking with, like, interesting people,
yeah,
so, I definitely wanted to get you on, so
yeah.
I'm
I've been
glad you're
watching
here.
your stuff, your conversations that you've been having, and dude, they're so cool. So I was like, man, when you said you wanted me on there, I was like, dude, say no more. I'm coming.
I love it. I love it. Oh, I'm also getting updates on my daughter. She's in Wichita. They had like 100-mile-per-hour tornado touchdown and
Oh
wipe
my
out their
gosh.
main power grid.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, just love and just thinking about you to everyone in the Wichita area.
Yeah.
This weather can be crazy, man. That's all I'll say. I'm in the Midwest. I know you're
Yeah.
not, but it's on days like this you don't want to be here.
I can imagine. So yeah, I hope she stays safe and
Yeah, yeah.
um
Shout
yeah,
out to
just
everybody
keep
there.
yeah.
What I like to do is have the conversation not only with the guests, but I tell people if you're in the chat, you're a part of the conversation. So,
Mhm.
to all those in the chat, all those lurking, even if you're watching on the replay, welcome back if you've been here before. And if this is your first time here, I know you have some friends that came over as well. Welcome. We like to just have it laid back and just talk movies here. This is all about movies and people who love movies. And tonight we're going to focus a lot on physical media, having Jordan here and everything.
Yeah.
So, starting with the Movie Den,
Mhm.
you've been on YouTube for almost a year now.
Yep.
So, how did you? There goes my dogs. How did you come up with the idea for the Movie Den?
You know, that's a good question. It was just one afternoon. We were sitting and I had gotten back into collecting.
Hmm.
Reason B is I was watching, I think my wife and I we were watching The Mask of Zorro on streaming. And I had had physical media in the past,
Hmm.
sold it, some stuff got put in totes, attic, put up in the attics and stuff like that. Anyways, we were watching The Mask of Zorro, and we stopped it because we had to go to bed. We had work early the next morning. We figured, well, we'll finish it off tomorrow.
Yeah.
And this had happened more than this one time that I'm referencing, and it was gone. And
Mm.
we had maybe 30 minutes left of the movie, and I was at that point I got fed up. I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I think I'm gonna start buying movies again. I had at the time a PlayStation 5. So I was like, at least I got a 4K player.
Yeah.
And I had bought in 4Ks in the past. Nothing crazy, but just kind of ones that I really like. So I had those, and I just started buying again, and I was really getting into it. I started watching, just learning about it. I got the idea, or well, not I didn't get the idea, but I started seeing like these boutique labels. What is that? So it's really started
Mhm.
diving in,
Mhm.
and then it just became something that I just wanted to share and talk about. And it started off just on Instagram. I just started the Instagram. It wasn't a YouTube thing at all. It wasn't even a thought. And then
Yeah.
it just kind of grew from there. The idea of the movie den, I think that just came to me one afternoon. I was just sitting there and I was thinking, man, the movie room. No. Well, now I'm glad I didn't pick that because that's a weird thing.
We'll talk about that too.
Yeah. And I was like, well, what about Jordan's movie? Something like, no, that's ridiculous. I don't want to do.
Mhm.
And I wanted something that was just simple, something that felt cozy, kind of home. A place where just come and relax.
Yeah.
Let's watch a movie. Let's talk about movies. And the movie den just, like I said, came to me one day, and I was like, yeah, I like that. And so I
Yeah.
ran it across with my wife, and she's like, she was kind of interested, but she's like, okay, this is kind of just let him do his thing. I'll support it. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. Go do that. And so
Yeah.
I was like, sure. So I decided, let's run with it.
That's
And
cool.
that's kind of where it all started. It was just came into my head one day.
Are you currently in your movie den, or is that
I
just
am.
a storage
No,
room
this is
for you?
my office
Mhm.
movie room, where I keep all my movies. You see part of it right here.
Yeah.
I'm a musician, so I have, my guitars and stuff set over here. So it's kind of it's just my office is really what it is. And I kind of converted part of it to a
Yeah.
movie area.
That's like me. I'm in the basement,
Hmm.
and it's where I watch movies. I have a big OLED across the way,
Uh-huh.
chairs and everything, but I also used to DJ, so I still have equipment,
Hmm.
and it's not set up now, but normally I have it set up over there, and then surrounding is just movies and movie posters and stuff like that.
Yeah. This is kind of the space where it's like, hey, you can do whatever you want in here.
Yeah,
And originally
keep it
I
in there.
talked, yeah. And originally I talked to my wife and said, hey, what if we like put a bookshelf out in the living room, and I could put, some of our favorite movies up there. And she goes, no, no.
Yeah,
I
that's
let you have the big TV out here. That's as far as I'm going. We have a big TV
mhm.
and a sound bar with a sub or whatever, but other than that, everything that's going in your office.
Yeah.
So
As I mentioned, we are not alone, so let's do a quick check-in and see who's joining us.
yeah.
We have Solvents on the check-in, came in early, said, "Hey." We got Face the Music saying, "What's up, Jordan?"
What's up, dude?
We have Talia saying, "What's up to everyone?" Like seeing the new fresh faces. We got Adrian James in the check-in saying, "How you do?" You see one, you see the other. We also have Holland Oates on the check-in saying, "Good evening. Good morning to you, sir." Steve Moody in the house saying hello and hi to everyone. People checking in with each other. We got Jeff's mom. I just call it something different every time. Good evening to you.
What's going on?
Uh, who else? People talking to each other. We'll check back in as we go along. Just don't want to miss anyone on the initial check. We got Michael saying hi. First time here, excited to watch. You got an awesome guest. Yes, I've
Oh,
already determined that, but
oh,
thank you for the cosign on that for sure.
thank
For
you.
sure.
GC's a good dude. He's always hanging out on live streams with me and stuff. So
Yeah. We got Caveman here saying, "Hey there." Remind everyone to go ahead and hit that like button if you like what you see so far, if you've been here before. If you've been here and you're still not subscribed, you came back for a reason, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That's what I say. It's free, 99.
there you go.
15 watching, 10 likes. Yeah, see, there you go. Come on, it's free. We're in the same wavelength for sure. So you said you started with Instagram, moved on to YouTube.
Hmm.
Like I said, it's been about a year.
Yeah.
What's been the best and worst part about posting videos, even live streams, but posting videos mainly?
The best part is meeting people. I think that's the coolest thing. You find a community right here. Exactly. I love
Yeah.
this. You find a community of people that same, you like the same stuff. You can carry on conversations for hours.
Mhm.
Like I had told you earlier when we were waiting, I'm over in California. I'm just north of Sacramento, and there's not a lot of the big physical media. I don't know. The community over here is kind of weird. There's some very, very sporadic. I think I know like one other physical media content creator, so whatever you want to call us
Yeah.
here in California. I'm sure there's more, but um, it's cool that the people, like I said, people get to meet and they're from all around the world. And it feels so close, but we're so separated. That's
Mhm.
what I love. Live streams, awesome. The one thing that I find is hard is I early on I had to remind myself is stop chasing the number,
Yeah.
stop chasing that amount of subscribers, stop chasing because look, if it'll come in due time,
Mhm.
some not as much as others. And I also had to teach myself don't do it for that reason. You do it because you love to do it. Because I'll
Exactly.
be honest, I've had those times where I feel like, man, this is going to be an awesome video. It's going to be great. It's going to do real well. And it tanks. And you feel like you kind of want to give up at that point. Like, well, what's the
Mhm.
point? I put, hours into editing this video, pouring everything in here, and you don't get to see the fruit of that.
Yeah.
So
And then you
that's
post
kind of
something
hard.
random and it takes off.
Exactly. And I think another thing too is um, kind of comparison is a big one too.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
hard because you see these other YouTubers and you're like, well, I like what they do. And so you try to compare and then it's not really, doesn't work for you.
It's
So it's
not you.
really, you got to I don't want to say find your lane, but find what works for you and just
Yeah.
keep doing it and just have fun. That's the biggest thing. Just have fun doing it.
Yeah. My whole thing is it's very easy to get caught up in the numbers and the
Hmm.
subs and
Yeah.
going after monetization, what all that stuff.
Hmm. Yeah.
But my whole thing is, did I have fun during that last conversation?
Yeah.
Or did I have fun, showing off that haul? Because I had
Hmm.
fun buying it and I'm gonna have fun watching it, but
Hmm.
sharing that haul, was the excitement there? Really, that's all it's about. So now
Hmm.
I'm to the point that, hey, I have 10 people watching. I
Hmm.
one video might get like a couple hundred views, and then I'll post something on my kitchen table and it gets like several thousand views. And I'm like,
Yeah. It
it
doesn't make
makes
sense.
no freaking sense.
YouTube is very fickle that way.
Yeah. Yeah. So now
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm doing this, for the experience and reaching out and meeting
Mhm.
people, especially if you're in a more remote area where you don't get a chance to meet up in person with a lot of people
Yeah.
unless you like make a trip somewhere or go to a con or something like that.
Mhm.
I think it's very important to have that online connection with others
For
because
sure.
that becomes the what I like to call the oh me too.
Yeah.
There's always that. We were talking
Mhm.
about our mutual friend Chris from Bearded Film Guy before we started, and I still don't know where he lives, but I connect with him every day, watch his posts, watch his
Mhm.
videos, ask him about his lighting. He's like, I just, it's natural light. I'm like, get out, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's things like that that's more important to me than a video taken off or
Mhm.
I can I'll say it's almost as important as, like, having local people that you could hang out with because there's nothing like being able to hit up a movie with somebody or, you know, even what I'm about to say, we don't do as much because we cannot, go to a local video store and find
Yeah.
just, go looking for movies. My friend Nathan Jones comes up from Springfield. We do that. As I mentioned, Ryan from Disconnected is about a half hour from me. We'll go to a movie together. We did that recently. So those are movie friend connections that I could see, feel, touch, hang out with.
Right.
But it's just one step above the connections that I have online because it's the same thing. And it's almost to the point that every time I have a conversation like this, then that circle just gets bigger and your Instagram is going to be on the notifications and I'm checking out what you're getting, and then I
Mhm.
could be like, "Oh, I saw you had that. Did you check it out yet? What did you think?"
Mhm.
So, things like that happen
Y
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's what I really enjoy is just the community. It's
Mhm.
very tight, very supportive. We're there for each other. I love it.
Yeah, for sure. Talking about community, we got a couple other people on the check-in here. We got Princey Prince. Jordan, goat name. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Thank you.
I don't know. Based on the year, he could be named after him. I don't know. We'll have to ask his parental units on that one. We got Our Life in Horror in the house saying, hey, hey, hope you're feeling better, Sam. Brendan, hello as well. They had a live stream earlier today. I could not catch it. I was on my way home. Hope it went well. We have, the lights are up to 11. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Garcia. I like to see that. Uh, let's see. One thing for sure, I'm going to be happiest when you finally pull the trigger on me on the conversation. I would have done that, but you're headed over to Sledgehammer Horror before you come to me. So I don't know. Do you want to go to Sledgehammer Horror or do you want to come on the conversation first? I don't mind being second, but I know you're going there first. Anytime you're ready, Prince, just hit me up. Just hit me up, my friend. Let's see. You should cover the Jeff Goldblum horror film, Mr. Frost, and the sci-fi action Scanner Cop 1.
Oh, Scanner Cop one's good.
Yeah, yeah, actually, they're both okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you enjoy doing the reviews?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. I actually have a review coming up here pretty soon. I got a film. I'm comparing Monkey Shines, the Scream Factory versus the Umbrella one. So
Mhm.
kind of those usually I like doing those, kind of comparing, there's two options. Which one are you going to get the best bang for your buck? The problem with that is you have to have both. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So,
Compare, contrast, or
mhm,
hopefully someone else out there has done the work for you.
right.
Let's see. Who else is in here? I thought I just saw Jeff. There he is. Good
What's
evening,
up,
my
dude?
friend. John Doe Juggalo in the house. People saying hi to each other. Let's see. Yeah, we're good.
I tell you, Jeff has been one of those mainstays for me, man. He
Yeah,
just
he's a good guy.
ever ever since I started, just he's so supportive, is there all the time. I love that dude.
Yeah, he's one of the people that I got on to early, and I was like, I just like your vibe, dude.
Yeah.
I You're not out there every Tuesday, and nothing wrong with that, but he's like a conscientious type of physical media collector,
Mhm.
um, and his picks are always great. So
Yeah.
yeah. What's this? Glad that a Friday Night prequel is being written. Oh, didn't know
I
that.
didn't know about that.
Me either. Mozart's Ghost in the house. Good to see you again. Just mentioned Ryan from the Disconnected. He hangs out on his Thursday night show as well.
Nice.
So, talking about reviews, you do post a lot of reviews, but a
Mhm.
lot of them on boutique labels.
Mhm.
Is it safe to say, since you restarted the collecting and everything, you've kind of like guided yourself more toward that?
The thing I like about boutique labels is I'm a big special features guy. I want
Yeah,
to know about the movie. I want to know the ins and outs. I want to hear from the directors and producers. And and as unfortunate as it is with a lot of studio releases, you don't get that a lot. You can. There
mhm,
are sometimes some studio releases they'll put in some work.
yeah,
Like a lot of the Michael Bay movies, like his behind the scenes stuff is phenomenal. I love his stuff. But I've noticed with the boutique labels, I just feel like you're getting more meat on the bone with those. So that's why I try to cover those more, just because I feel like there's more to talk about with them
yeah,
individually, right? I can do a video with about a collection of movies and talk about a lot of them with studio releases. Very, very easy. But um, that's kind of why I like the boutique labels. And plus, they like to dive into the more obscure, the more underseen, underappreciated. A lot sometimes films I've never heard of.
mhm,
So that's why I kind of gravitate towards them. And plus, I'm a big horror guy. I think It's kind
Yes.
of obvious. So and boutique labels and horror, they kind of go hand in hand. So that's kind of why I naturally gravitated that route. Like I
Mhm.
said, I have some studio releases right here. I mean, we'll talk about, but um, that's kind of why it seems to lean more into the boutique labels.
Yeah. I always ask this question, especially around October, but I
Mhm.
I want to pose it to you since you brought up the genre. And hopefully this doesn't interrupt any answers you have for the 5 takes, but do you remember what movie or what story, if there's something behind it, who got you into liking horror movies?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. My dad.
Oh, okay.
When I was young, my parents were split up when I was younger. So it was funny because when I go visit my dad, it was like you can watch whatever you want to watch. Like I have a shelf. It wasn't massive, but a lot of it was horror. And I could just grab a movie and say, hey, let's watch this. I mean, there might have been like one or two that he's like, hey, you're not old enough for that yet. But
Mhm.
for the most part, most of everything I could just grab, ask him, and he'd be like, sure, let's throw it on. Um, and that's where my love for horror really stemmed from. And it's funny because I'd go there, I watch all these horror movies and stuff. I'd go to my mom's and she was big, like, no, I don't like horror. Like the
But I
most,
already seen it.
oh, well, the most horror that we would get over there is like the Goonies,
Okay.
which it's
It's
got
a
its,
good balance though because,
mhm, right.
you have your dad showing you these things probably
Mhm.
way too early. I can't
Oh, for
talk,
sure. Oh my gosh.
Jaws at 5, Exorcist at 8 or 10, so,
Oh
um,
yeah.
but then you still get, like, what we would consider to be, like, the studio, the catalog stuff.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
a good balance, so
Mhm.
you have some people that are just, like, strictly horror. It's like,
Yeah.
don't,
No.
faces of death or die kinda thing.
Yeah, no. Yeah. No, for me, it was a good balance. Yeah, like, over be home at my mom's, it would be, it'd be Goonies, it would be Tremors, Twister,
Mm,
those just good studio movies you
yeah.
would just watch, and over there was always big Disney. That was a big thing over my mom. So I grew up with Disney movies. I mean, if you could see, like, I've
All
got,
the clamshells, I saw
yeah,
it. I saw it
not all of
earlier when
them,
you
but,
turned.
but anyways, so big with that, and that had a big impact with me, growing up was
Mhm.
Disney, even to this day. And it's funny that it's a polar opposite, right? You got horror that's very, could be very dark, twisted, and then you have Disney. So it
Which
I have
in
a
its own
wide
way is
spectrum.
kinda dark.
It
It
can
can
be.
get dark.
It can be. Yeah, yeah. The Black Cauldron.
Mm,
So
good
it can
one.
get pretty dark. But yeah, that's where the horror love from me came from, was my father, for
Do you
sure.
remember your first boutique once you got back into collecting?
I do. I do. It was a blind buy, and it was an Arrow 4K. It was Mute Witness. Yeah.
Mm,
It was on sale,
that's,
and I
like,
was like,
recent.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was just on Amazon one day, and I was like, let's look up Arrow Video, because I hear everyone Arrow Video this, Arrow Video that, and all
Yeah,
that. And
yeah.
the ones that I would want, I couldn't afford. When I started getting boutique labels, I mean, we're looking at, like, almost a year now. So it's like American Werewolf in London. Oh, I can't afford that. That's out of print. That's way too pricey. So it was on sale. I think that's why I grabbed it. I think it was Mute Witness. Yeah. And I watched it and I was like, what in the world? What is this? And I
A
got
lot of
bit by the
features,
bug.
so
What's that?
a lot of special features
A
on that
lot of
one.
special features, you see. That I think that was my first boutique label, was
Wow.
was Mute Witness. Yeah, of all
So
movies.
that's going back, if I wanna recount, Fall Before Last,
Mm,
and now what's that boutique label? Because I know you're big into the Vince, and what's that boutique label, collection looking like?
it's big. My favorite, the one I really like, it's one of those, when it comes out, I'm getting it, is Second Sight.
Yeah.
It's one of the, and what's easy with Second Sight is they don't put out a lot of releases. I
Mhm.
mean, each month max is 2.
Yeah.
I love Umbrella, but you can't keep up with Umbrella. I mean, and two, a lot of their stuff, sometimes they're like a little too out. Like, okay, I'm not going to see that. And I'm sure there's obviously a market for it. Like the new one, 10 Canoes. I'm not going to watch 10 Canoes. You know what I mean? So I love Umbrella, but they're pricey and they put out a lot of stuff. But yes, Vinegar Syndrome. That's when I do Vinegar Syndrome, like for me, Vinegar Syndrome, they have a good streak for some good, slate of movies, and then they just,
Mhm.
for me, they just kind of put out some
Bizzle.
stinkers, and then they'll come back and they'll put really good ones, and then it's kind of falls off. So me and Vinegar Syndrome have a love-hate relationship with each other.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that, and Jeff right here was saying that, "Thanks for the kind words. You're welcome, sir." And he just got a new second sight today, and he says he has to pick your brain about it.
Oh,
It's
dude.
honestly right now, despite the great year Kino is having, v
Mhm.
Second Sight is my top import, top boutique.
Oh, for
The
sure.
the only thing I've really done is I've cut back on the chunky box sets because I realize I hardly have time to watch the movies. I have even less time to go through the books and stuff. So I'm like,
Yeah.
really, everything I need is on that disc.
Mhm.
So I'll go through like the other night. I just put it back on the shelf. The other night, I finally went through the Blair Witch Project special
Mm.
features. The
Oh,
doc on there is
dude,
longer than the freaking movie.
it is, but man, it's
And
good
really
though.
good. And
Yeah.
really good. And it's funny because I studied that movie as a white paper for my marketing class
Oh, wow.
because they were
Okay.
talking about the early internet and how
Mhm.
a movie like that cannot be made today because people find out it's like not real, blah blah blah. But back then, anybody who was around would tell you people believed it. People
Well,
believed it was real,
it was
and
early
they
enough.
go into all that in the special
Yeah.
features. So I love to see that.
It was early enough on the internet to where you would believe what you saw.
Hmm.
It was on there, it's gotta be real.
So good.
And
They did it
man,
so well.
the writers and directors of that really played into that very, very, very well.
Yeah, yeah. And talking about Vinegar Syndrome, said he got dirty work last week. It's packed with good features.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. I haven't got to dive into mine yet, but
Yeah, I saw
we'll be doing it.
your haul picture on Instagram that you got
Yeah.
it. So
Mhm.
talking about hauls, here's my man, Born to be Red.
Oh, dude.
What's up, G?
Wanna talk about a crazy movie room right there. I love this stuff, dude.
Yeah, he has some good stuff. I wish I could pick up more imprint stuff. It's expensive though. It is. It is.
Mhm.
And I'm getting to that point with a couple of different labels because I don't go crazy either. And needless to say, lately everyone's been cutting back even a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll look to see like 2 or 3 during the month and who I want it from and who am I getting it from Orbit this month? Am I getting it from Diabolic? Am
Mhm.
I getting it from the movie room? Whoever it's going to be.
Right.
And that's usually I just make one import order for the month. And if I have to
Okay.
wait, if something comes out week 1 of the month and I have to wait till week 4, I probably won't get to it on week 4. So I might as well just get one big shipment altogether. But
There you go.
mostly the second side stuff. I just saw the other day. I want to say it's imprint. I could be wrong, but they're doing the Hitchcock 9, which is
Okay.
the original Hitchcock movies. A lot of them are silent, but I'm
Yeah, I
trying
saw
to
that.
do the whole filmography, and I'm missing a couple holes
Mhm.
because just of availability and haven't been on a high definition copy, and 2 of them on that in that box set. And I'm like, I was talking to a couple of people. I said, "Am I going to buy the box set just to get 2?" I don't know. I can't justify
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's a thing. I agree with him. Imprint, they do put out great stuff. I only have 2 imprint titles. They are
Mhm.
very expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because it's from Australia. I don't know if that's part of the reason because Umbrella is kind of in the same camp.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So,
Just one more from Jeff here. He says he's digging away the second sight standard editions are lining up on the shelf. It's true. It's up there
Mhm,
with Kino because it's not like they got, like, a funky, like, case or anything like that. Some box sets, different sizes, different widths. Pretty much
mhm.
you got a standard 4K or Blu-ray case. They line up lovely. And just looking at my shelf here, I'm out of room. I need a new shelf. But I got all my second sight together, and I got my box sets and then all my standard editions, and there's more and more standard editions being added on.
Yeah, I agree with the way the second sight standards look. They look great, and, Kino, same thing.
Mhm.
You know, even like Scream Factory, yeah, I mean, they have kind of different artwork, but at least they're all the same size, and it's very uniform. It's cool.
Yeah. So what has been your favorite new release this year? We'll do the new release and then overall pickup regardless of when it came out.
Oh, gee, for, overall pickup for this year.
Yeah.
Um, my favorite release this year is definitely the Grindhouse releases The Beyond.
I keep hearing about that movie. I've
Oh
never
man.
seen it.
Okay. It's an Italian horror film.
Okay.
Lucio Fulci, happy birthday, Lucio Fulci.
Yes,
It's his
today.
birthday today. But anyways, that's probably my favorite. I mean, it is pricey. I know that.
Mhm.
But you're getting like 6 discs. You're getting the soundtrack, the DVD, some Blu-rays of 4K. Sorry. Got some in my throat. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would have to say I think it's that. There was another one. What was it? I was just thinking of. I'm trying to look at my shelf to see if I can remember what it is. Um yeah, I'm not sure. I think yeah, we're gonna go with that.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with the Beyond.
Yeah. For me, and I know it came out last year, but I'm still over the moon about Hush being released.
Oh, dude, wasn't that crazy?
I don't watch movies like back to back, like, oh, it ended. Let me start it over again. Maybe
Mhm.
like back in the VHS days, maybe even the DVD days, but I can't remember any Blu ray I've ever done that to besides
Yeah.
like when my son was younger and making me rewind the kung fu scene in the Matrix or something.
Yeah.
But I was down here and I watched it, and the moment it was over, I wanted to watch it again, and I started watching the cast commentary with the picture in picture, and I
Mhm.
realized it was getting late, so I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna go upstairs," and I took it upstairs with me, and I'm telling my wife, "This movie's so great, and it
Mhm.
looks so good, and you gotta watch it." She's like, "Yeah, it sounds interesting, okay." I was like, "No, like, right now, there's a black and white version, and we're gonna watch it right
That's
now
the way
so
to
I
watch it
could
right
see
there.
it
Yeah.
and you could see it with me." And we
Yeah.
watched the black and white version, like, within a half hour of me
Yeah.
finishing the first watch, and
That's
just
so cool.
everything on that is so much fun.
What I
New I don't think I got my favorite new one yet, but
Okay. I mean,
probably
it
the
could
Blaxploitation classics if I had to do
Okay.
anything. Volume 1.
Yeah.
Volume 2 is coming soon.
Do you have that one coming?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
I took advantage of that Target sale, and I was surprised it was on there, so
Mhm.
I was like,
Yeah. What's crazy about Hush is the fact that it was Netflix had it, and then they decided we're gonna keep the rights for it, but we're just not gonna
"Mhm."
put it up. So it's out of the question. You can't watch it unless you obviously you buy like a bootleg version.
Right.
But yeah, that's crazy. And I'm just so glad that we finally was able to at least get that out because I remember watching it on Netflix when it came out.
Mhm.
And it was so good. And it's funny, I remember talking about it later, and this was a couple years ago, or I think it was a couple years ago, and I went to watch it, and yeah, it was gone. Couldn't watch
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah. Just like
that was
Master Zorro.
like Mask of Zorro, yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Do you get out to the cinema often?
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorite things to do.
Okay.
So me and my wife go all the time. A lot of times certain movies I will go by myself. My
Mhm.
wife is not big into horror at all. Some movies, there's some rare ones from time to time she'll want to go
Yeah.
see. Like there's that new movie coming out. I can't think of it. It'll pop in my head. She wants to see. It's the one where the kids walk out of their houses and disappear in the night.
Hmm.
Weapons. So
Okay.
she wants to see that movie, but it's very, very rare. So for those types of movies, I will go by myself. We've got the movie pass, kind of the resurrected movie pass, I guess. So it's a little different, but
Yeah.
it works. Hey, it's a little more expensive, but we try to go all the time. And I'll see everything out there from Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, went and saw that, to Bring Her Back,
Ugh,
to
the feel-good movie of the year.
right. Oh my gosh. To my wife and I just went and saw The Materialist, a rom-com. So I mean,
Same.
we'll go see everything
Yeah.
that's out. So yeah, I'm always at the movie theater.
My wife is pretty much the same way. She'll go see, like, the Screams and all that stuff, but she surprised me when I told her, "I wanna see this movie, it's called In a Violent Nature," and she's like, "I'll go see it with you."
Oh
Yeah. Yeah, about that.
yeah, I'm sure once she saw that yoga scene, she's
Yeah.
checked out at that point.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh my god, how do you watch this?" I'm like,
That's funny.
"Very intently, very intently."
I always tell her, and she'll get like, it's not that she's scared, but she's grossed out.
Yeah.
And I always tell her, it's not real. Like, look, this is all fake and it's practical. It's really cool how they do that. She goes, I don't care. I see blood. I'm checked out.
Yeah,
I made the mistake of taking her to go see Azrael. Not a lot of people heard that, watch that movie
I saw that
last
at a
year.
film festival,
hmm
like,
I
before it came out.
I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it.
Yeah.
And if you've seen it, it's very, very gory,
Mhm.
very gory.
Oh.
And that was kind of the movie to where we went and saw it, and she goes, "I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore." Like I have to seriously watch all the trailers. I will watch like 10 reviews of it, and I'll read the
Mhm.
plot. And then if at that point, I will go see the movie. But before then, no, she won't do it anymore.
That movie was silence and gore.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
The cool thing about that is the guy who wrote that wrote, I always get it wrong, is it The Guest?
Is that the same guy? The
And
guest with oh,
he had Godzilla and Kong: New Empire in the theater right next door, so when we were starting to watch Azrael, he had 2 movies that he wrote playing at the same time.
oh yeah, Adam Wingard. Yeah. That's
Um,
him, right? That's the director of The Guest.
okay, so wrong guy.
Let's see,
I'm
Azrael, hold
thinking
on.
of Simon.
E.L. Katz.
I'm sorry,
That's the director of Azrael.
this is bad, live streaming here, but
No,
we
you're
don't
good.
care. We have
Uh,
internet, we will travel.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, no. Looks like E.L. Katz is the director
no, it
for
was a
Azrael.
writer, Simon Barrett,
Oh. Okay, okay, okay.
and he was also the producer on it. But, yeah, sat right next to him, watched a movie. I thought that was
You
cool.
did.
Yeah,
That's cool.
and I was like, "It's kinda cool, you got a movie playing next door too." So,
Oh, geez, okay, yeah, he did, like, VHS, You're Next.
that's what it was. You're next. You're next.
Yeah,
How could I
The
forget that?
Guest, he did The Guest, yeah. Yeah, he's got quite
Mhm.
the list. The New
Yeah.
Empire, that's funny.
So, I was asking about that because you mentioned Flanagan, and we went to see
Mhm,
Life of Chuck, which
mhm,
you'd say Stephen King and you say Mike Flanagan, people don't usually think it's gonna be, like a nice movie. They think it's gonna be a horror movie, and it
mhm.
wasn't that, and it was really good, and I enjoyed it.
I haven't got to see it yet, but I wanna go see it.
Yeah, we saw that. Like I was saying, we saw that, we went to eat, then we went back and saw Materialist.
Okay.
So that was
Yeah, The
a good double
Materialist,
feature Saturday.
I enjoyed The Materialist. I thought it was a
Yeah,
good movie. Yeah,
great
I enjoyed
writing,
that.
great
Yep.
writing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Really well
But at the
done.
same time, glad I'm not dating today.
Oh, dude,
Oh my
no.
gosh.
Mm.
I am so glad I'm not dating today.
Yeah. Yeah, I have some cousins that are currently in that dating and figuring things out. I'm like, I don't know how you guys do it. That's too much for me. I'm glad I'm done with that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But yeah, I try to get to the movies like at least once a week. Like I
Mhm.
was telling you before, if I'm in the house on Thursday, by Thursday night, if not Friday night, I am at the movie theater.
Yeah.
It's like, and if it's really bad, I'm watching too.
And it's hard too, especially as summer now is kicking off. You're getting all these great movies. Life of Chuck, Karate Kid Legends, some awesome movies coming out, and it's
Yeah,
hard to keep up.
we have a we have a guest star here. I'm going to change the perspective. Oh, you can't see you, Lando. Rah. We got my boy
Oh, how
Lando here.
cute. Nice.
What's up, bub? I know
Perfect name.
you don't
I
like
love
being
it.
down here. Yeah, and his sister is Ahsoka, and she's just making noise under the desk. So
Star Wars fan.
yes, born and raised.
Okay. Well, we'll get along just fine then.
Oh yes, oh
Yeah.
yeah. Are you
My
gonna
my
stay?
dogs, I have to keep them out of the office. They'll start running in and out and barking. I have 2 German Shepherds, and
Uh
it gets wild.
yeah, I can imagine. Hopefully, he
Oh,
didn't just turn up my gain. Otherwise, I got really loud, really, really fast.
you're good. You're good. No change here.
Okay. I have one more
Mm.
question to ask you before we tackle the five takes.
Okay.
So tell us about Sunday Scaries.
Mhm. Sunday Scaries, well, it's Monday Scaries now. It started off as Sunday Scaries. Actually, originally, Chris, Bearded Film Guy, that was his idea. He just kinda came up to us one day. We had a little group chat going. He goes, "Hey, I, I've been mulling over this idea. Let's once a week talk about our, weekly pickups, upcoming physical media releases that are coming out, and just it's really just hang out in a chat." And originally started on Instagram and doing Instagram lives on Chris's channel.
Mhm.
Well, it got to the point where I think you can only have 4 on Instagram. And we had
Yeah,
so many people wanting to do it, friends. And so I was like, hey, look, let's talk about maybe moving this over to YouTube. And originally it was like, no, we're gonna keep it on Instagram. It's kind of where because that's where it started. It was Chris's thing.
right.
Well, eventually it just got to the point where like, hey, let's just try it on YouTube. So I got the free version of StreamYard and we just tried it out and it just we had just kind of became a thing we did. And it kind of transitioned to Monday because it seemed like every Sunday you must I let me tell you, I vacuum every day and I usually vacuum when I get home from work, obviously. And
Wow.
it's so funny. You look down the hallway and it looks like clumps of snow. And
Wow.
especially like this time of year, they're blowing their coat and yeah, you're not if you come hang out at my house, you will leave at least with one of our dog's hairs on you. It's crazy.
That's funny.
But anyway, Sunday Scaries, yeah, people just kept every week. I'm not kidding. People will be busy Sunday night. And I get it, probably getting ready for the week and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And so, but everyone was always, hey, but Mondays I'm free. So we just it went from Sunday Scaries to Sunday/Monday Scaries, just depending on the time of the day or day of the
Mhm.
week. And then now it's officially Monday Scaries. So
But
that's kind
I
of where
I
it
love the
came
way it's like cross out the S, add a M.
from. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's where that
It's
came from.
Monday
Y
Scaries, Monday.
yeah, that was the very first Monday that we had to do, and we're trying to figure out I just typed out Monday
Yeah,
when I made the thumbnail, and Chris goes, "No, no, no, do this. We'll put the X on the S and put a
perfect,
M," and it still technically is
perfect.
Mondays. So I was like, "Okay, let's do that." And that's kinda where it came from, and it's just kind of for the most part, like this week we didn't do one because I was I had a lot of live streams this week
Mhm.
planned. And my wife's like, "No, you're good. You need to take some time off. We're doing
Yeah,
all these live streams." I like have another one on Thursday. So it's fun though.
yeah. I was just about to say you guys look like you have a
Mhm.
fun time.
Yeah, yeah, we do. It's not always a full house. Sometimes, it's just me and my buddy Steven. He's usually one of the mainstays. It's always, it's free all the time. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we have a good time.
If you're ever looking for a guest appearance, just let me know. I'm
Well,
usually free on Mondays.
that's good to know, and we're starting a new series. We just started we did it last Sunday, this
Mhm.
past Sunday. Me, Chris, and Steven, we came up with this idea. I approached them about it called Fear by Year. I think that's what we came up with. Might change. I don't
Ooh,
know.
I like
But
that.
we started with 1970 through 77, just talking about the horror films of those was that 7 years?
Yeah.
Eight, yeah, 7 years, 8 years, whatever. We started talking about, we picked a movie that was important for that year. And then we're going to do is start in 78. We're going to do 78. And then we're going to do 79,
Mhm.
80. We're just going to go through
Oh,
all
after
the,
a year?
we're going by year. Yeah, we started to kick it
Nice.
off. Let's just cover this. And so we're always looking for guests now. So
Yeah, I
um,
would love that.
uh,
84 is my year.
84. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I
So when
will,
you get around to 84, give me a call.
you bet. But of course, we're starting 78 as number one, as the 1 year for a reason. If you guys know your years of movies, so
Or look behind either one of us.
look behind, look
Get down.
what I'm wearing,
Yeah.
So
I switch around my metal posters. I was like, "I'm gonna match Jordan."
there you go. Sweet.
All right, my man. You ready for the 5 takes?
Let's go for it.
Okay. The 5 takes, 5 questions we ask every guest at the
Mhm.
end of the conversation. We're gonna start the way we always do with number 1.
Okay.
Name the film that made you fall in love with the movies. And if you
So
got them, show them.
that was a tough one for me
I'm sure.
because I grew up, like I said, my dad's side was horror movies all the time. My mom's side was your average movies, I guess is the best way to describe it, but it was a big laundry list of movies. Um, but I just, you know what? So my grandfather, he passed away a few years ago. But he's who I went with to go to the movie theater once a week. It was usually on Tuesdays. Ever since I was a kid, we would go and we would go see a movie.
Mhm.
And so that's where my love for movies really started, was going to the theater and seeing the movies. And he was a big sci-fi guy, really big into sci-fi.
Mm.
Stargate SG-1, loved that show. Um, you know, um, what else? Star Trek, he's a big Trekkie.
Mhm.
Star Wars. Um, I didn't really get into like the Star Treks and Stargate SG-1s as much as he was. I mean, that was the
Mhm.
thing. He'd watch them weekly. And but the one that got me, and he got me into this, was original Star Wars. I mean, you can't beat this movie. Just
The
it's
space
a
opera.
low budget sci-fi movie, but it's so good. And obviously it worked because, how many years later and they're still making stuff, whether they're good or not, that's that's up for debate. But yeah, I love this. What made me fall in love with movies was Star Wars, and watching them with him. And yeah, that's just where it came from. And then from there, it just on my dad's side, what got me to love movies was his biggest favorite movie, and it ended up being mine, was Halloween. Like that
Nice.
was his movie. So it was really those two that made me fall really in love with movies, was Halloween and the original Star Wars, for
I
sure.
love it. I love
Hmm.
it. I, I'm old enough that I was there to experience the Star Wars phenomena. So
That's cool.
it's amazing that we could talk today about movies staying in the theaters for 6 months, a year, being re-released because a sequel was coming out. We see it now for, like, legacy things, like,
Hmm.
if, especially with physical media, if we have something new coming out,
Yeah,
we'll get a drop of that 4K steelbook of that. But I remember going to see Star Wars. We didn't call it A New Hope then.
Mhm.
I went to see Star Wars in '79 because '77 and I was all about the toys. I wasn't about the movie, but I wanted to see the movie before Empire came out the next year. So I
Okay.
saw Star Wars in '79 on a re-release, and then Empire came out in '80.
Yeah.
And then I cut school in '83 to be among the first people to see Jedi.
Man. Yeah, I could have pulled the prequels out,
Mhm.
because that earliest memory, I remember going to see The Phantom Menace with my
Yeah.
grandfather, and, that was kind of my introduction. That earliest memories that I can have, was going to see The Phantom Menace, and I mean, he's dude with 2 lightsabers or double-edged lightsabers. I mean, this
Yeah.
what I was blown away. And then he started showing me the originals, and that's what really I got hooked. And we yeah, up until he passed, we saw every Star Wars in theaters.
Oh, man, that's beautiful.
Opening day. Yeah, that was our thing, going to see all the Star Wars movies.
I think, if '94 is a reference to the birth year, I would say you're a few years younger than my son, and he had a similar experience. Thanksgiving night, they showed episode 1 on Fox,
Mm.
regular Fox TV, and I went to drop some people off at the train station. I came back, and my wife is at the door saying, "Go see what your son is watching," and it's the pod race. And I
Oh,
just sit down next to him. I'm like, "Hey, buddy, you like what you're seeing there?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I got 3 other movies to show you tomorrow."
yeah. I bet you
And
were
Black
smiling
Friday,
ear to ear.
I spent with him showing him the Holy Trilogy.
Yeah, the Trinity.
Beautiful.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, and then, and I specifically remember going to see, Revenge of the Sith with him, and I was just floored. That last scene, I mean, I remember looking over at my grandfather, and his smile just as big as mine,
Yeah, yeah.
because that's what everyone looked forward to, all the way from Star Wars, this, well, yeah,
The
Star Wars,
Vader
but
story.
also, yeah, knowing about who Anakin was, and there had to have been a fight, and then
Mhm.
we finally got to see the epic battle between the two on Mustafar, and so I remember that specifically, and that was really cool.
Yeah. Let's move on. Number 2. Name 5 of your favorite films.
Well, I show two of them. So Halloween,
Mhm.
I think is the greatest horror movie of all time. Uh, Personally, there's other great ones, but nothing beats this one. I think it's a perfect movie. Interesting about this one is it's similar to the idea that a lot of people have with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Is there's really not a lot of gore. It's all
Yeah.
about atmosphere, camera angles. The music is amazing in this.
Yep.
John Carpenter's score. Um, I love this movie. I think it's just a perfect movie. And I'll watch this more than just on Halloween. I'll watch it a few times throughout the year.
Same.
Next, talked about it, Star Wars.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, it's it's a love that runs deep for me. And I've always been a fan of uh, Luke Skywalker, specifically Return of the Jedi. Luke Skywalker with his green saber, I think that's the best. I know a
Mhm.
lot of people like Empire Strikes Back. Movie wise, yeah, I think that's the best one. But the type of Luke I like, I love, Return of the Jedi Luke.
Yeah.
Next, I wanted to. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. Next, I wanted to pull this out since it's Fulci's birthday. I had to pull it out. One of my favorite films of his. I talked about The Beyond. I love that, but Zombie.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
a lot of people like Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is one of the greatest of all time, but I would argue this is up there, almost neck and neck with
I
Dawn of the Dead.
agree.
And I'll probably get in some hot water with that with some
No,
people.
I agree. I
But
agree.
I'm telling you, you've got two ends of the spectrum. This is more your crazy, crazy gore. This makes me think of probably where The Walking Dead got their inspiration of their zombies.
Mhm.
is the movie Zombie Flesh Eater, Zombie 2, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You've got a zombie fighting a shark. What in the
I was
world?
just about to say, you don't get a zombie doing capoeira underwater fighting a shark every day.
Right. And it's got one of the greatest practical effects gags in any movie I've ever seen with the splinter.
Yep.
Just a perfect movie. The ending of it is just amazing. Sorry if no one's seen it, but it's been out for years, literally.
Years.
The ending with the
Catch it on a Blue
broadcast.
Underground sale. You owe it to
Yeah.
yourself.
The scene where they're on the bridge driving and it's got the broadcast coming through about everything, just,
It's nihilism.
going to hell, really. Great movie. I love this movie.
Me too. Good choice.
Next one I want to talk about is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the second sight version.
Nice.
What can you say? Toby Hooper, very similar to the approach that Carpenter did. I'm going at this angle with not as much gore, but with this one, he did something interesting where he made you think you saw all this gore when you never really did. And that's kind of what he did masterfully. He showed you a little bit of blood, but he left it up to your imagination, which is arguably scarier than anything you can really put on film. So that's why I love this. The soundtrack, it's all industrial noises, machinery sounds, which is crazy to me, but it works. It works really well. And what he does really good with this is basically everything about this movie is meant to get under your skin, just to irritate you, whether it be from the characters themselves.
Sally screaming.
Franklin.
That's what did it for me.
Sally, yes. Oh, Sally screaming at the dinner table. He really puts you in the movie itself. The dinner table scene in particular, they do that POV shot where you're sitting there. It looks like you're Sally and they're looking at you.
Yeah.
The whole just looking dirty all the time. It makes you feel uncomfortable and it does its job really well.
Yeah.
This one's not necessarily my favorite, but it's definitely up there. And I want to throw a curveball out there for people. It's a newer movie. You're going to be like, that movie. I like it. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
I just wanted to throw a little curveball. I figured let's surprise people with this one.
Okay.
This movie, I love this movie. You've got Hans Zimmer's score. Beautiful. As you can tell, I told you I'm a musician, so scores are very important to me. Music and movies are very important to me. Hans Zimmer's, it's iconic, inspired a ride, or the ride inspired this movie, which in turn inspired a ride. It did so well. Johnny Depp's portrayal, this character that he created. I mean, Johnny Depp, he's amazing at creating these characters, and but he created something very special with this. I think Jeffrey Rush's performance in this is iconic as Barbossa. I just think this is a great movie. It's fun. This is another movie I remember going to see in theaters. And right at the end, when Johnny Depp says, the drink up me hard as you home, closes the compass, and then boom, the credits hit.
Yeah.
It's just like you're sitting there like, what did I just witness?
Yeah. It's like great timing.
Yeah, it's not a horror movie. It's a fun movie that I love to watch, and I watch pretty regularly.
And it's Disney. That's your mom right there.
That's what it's my family on that side. We grew up. It was very, very Disney heavy. We go to Disneyland, yearly, and that still comes into today. We still do the same thing. So this movie, I think it's an amazing movie. It's not perfect. It's got its flaws, but I love it. Unapologetically, I love this movie. So I wanted to put that up there. Just something a little different. So I think that's 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5.
Beautiful. Beautiful choices.
Yeah.
All right. Let's continue on. Actually, watching Star Wars in theaters with my parents in the 90s. Yeah. It's nostalgia. It really is.
Yep.
It really is. Here's everyone's favorite question. Number 3. Name a popular or classic movie that everybody loves, but you don't particularly like.
I'm going to get into some hot water with this one.
Everyone is ready for it.
I'll give you 2. One of them, I cannot find the disc at all, or it's somewhere. I have a DVD of it. Might be at my grandparents. I don't know. It's a Disney movie. but it's Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion. I know people hated that movie with a passion.
The one that recently came out?
No, this one came out
Oh,
early 2000s.
yeah.
I love that. I think Terrence Stamp is the ghost host in the movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie. It's
Oh
one of
my
those
gosh, it makes me wanna
comfort.
go and watch it now.
It's not a good movie. I'm telling you, it's not good, but I love it. It is not a good movie, but it's one of those kind of comfort food movies for me.
Yeah.
It just feels good. It's terrible humor, but it's funny. I love the movie.
Dare
Or
I say it, is it
I'm
nostalgic?
sorry. Neighbor popular. I'm sorry. I'm no, sorry. That's for another question.
That's
Name a
number
popular
4.
culture. I'm sorry. This is the one that's really gonna get me in hot water. Oh, I'm kind of scared to show it. Jaws.
Really? But you
It's
own it,
well, it's one of those movies you gotta own. It's like a perfect
and you know you're doing this, like, 3 days before the 50th anniversary.
I
But go
know.
ahead.
I told you I'm gonna get into hot water. Scratch what I said earlier about Haunted Mansion. Sneak peek for the next
Yeah.
one. But um yeah, it's okay. For me, it's okay. Um uh Brian over the last movie stand, I think he said it perfectly. I respect the movie. I
Yeah.
respect the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Right? Steven Spielberg, what he did with this, the story, it's a great story.
It is.
It's just it kind of loses me after a little bit. I don't know. I just watched it the other day because this was part of our Fear by Year.
Yeah.
Um,
I would imagine so, 75.
yeah.
There's nothing
Um,
else to choose.
I think it has one of the greatest openings of any movie. She goes into the water. It is scary when
Yeah.
she's just swimming and she jerks back into the water. Absolutely terrifying. And the guy's going after her. He's so drunk he passes out. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I don't know. There's just some after it gets to that opening, and then I think it's after the beach scene when I don't know if he's like the mayor, I can't remember.
Yeah.
He basically goes up to the people, say, "Hey, just go out into the water. No one's out there. Go out
Yeah.
there. We need this." They
Mhm.
go out in the water, and everyone goes out there, and then they have to retract back.
Yeah.
I don't know, something about that after I just kind of loses
So,
me.
basically, once they went hunting, you just, like, lost interest.
I kind of clock out. I don't know why. I don't know why. I've seen the movie front to back many
Yeah.
times, but it's just I know. I know. I knew I was gonna get I'm gonna get
Hey,
eaten
I'll
alive,
say this
literally.
much, you're holding my favorite edition of it. I love the simplicity of it, I love the color.
Thank you for saying
I
that.
hate the new one.
Thank
The
you,
50th
'cause I've
anniversary is so busy, everybody's like, "Oh, everyone so far has been simplistic," because the story is simplistic. It's
I
simplistic
agree
in
with you.
nature. It's any beach,
Mhm,
any sea, and it's
mhm.
something that is not gonna stop.
Yeah.
I don't need to see Brody and Quint and all of them on the cover.
Mhm.
Yes, they're all a part of the anniversary, but I hate that new cover.
Thank you.
The lenticular one is cool,
I agree
but
with you.
that blue steel, that's the one I have.
Mhm.
It's my favorite one,
I agree with you for the 50th anniversary one, I don't like. Now, it has a new documentary, which is cool.
but that's it.
That's it. I'm fine with
I'll
this.
catch it. It'll be on YouTube. You
Mhm.
know, Universal will put it
Yeah.
out probably the week. I'm saying the week. It's this coming weekend
Mhm.
is the anniversary. So
Yeah. Now, like I said, I have it almost out of respect
yeah,
because I understand. I understand the importance of this movie, and it's one of those movies you have to have in your collection. So that's why I have it. Um,
give me a second. Continue talking.
but yeah, I'm sorry. I know people are probably gonna, especially watching later, people are gonna hate this. I'm gonna get bashed hard, probably lose subs, but it's just kind of, I don't know. It's just my opinion. It just kind of gets boring. I don't know. Um, But like I said, I respect it. I respect what Steven Spielberg did with it. I think he's crazy for putting a mechanical shark in salt water and expecting it to
I
work.
expect it to work.
But he wanted realism and
Yeah.
he got it. So,
So my version of that is one of your number twos.
oh,
I hated this. For one, I had never seen the whole thing,
mhm,
but I hated this movie because I'm like, I don't see the big deal about it,
Mhm.
but then I had to stop and say, 1974.
Mhm.
Had anybody seen anything like this in 1974? A
No.
year later, has anyone seen anything like that? And then when Second Sight and Dark Sky came out with it, I said, I wish I loved it more so I could get the Second Sight, because back then I was still buying the chunky box sets,
Mhm.
but I settled for the Dark Sky because that
Hey,
flip is so beautiful.
that is so nice, and I've considered getting that, even though I
Mhm.
have the second sight just for that slip. I mean, that close-up shot of Sally's eye is
Yeah.
amazing. I know I told you, I probably just lost you some views
No,
on your
nobody likes this question. That's the beauty of it. It's like, "Oh, my favorite," and, "Ooh, nostalgia." Ooh,
Yeah,
this is where I lose people.
yeah, yeah, but I could see your argument with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, definitely.
Yeah,
I just
and
think, yeah, it's one of those no one's ever seen it. It's one of those movies you watch and you think internally, like, am I able to? Should I be watching this movie? You know,
yeah.
the opening shot. You've got different audio clips of like just terrible things going on around the world.
Mhm.
It's I think it's a masterpiece, but I respect your
Yeah,
opinion that you don't
and
really care for it.
in my opinion, you were just holding a masterpiece, so
Yeah.
see,
So,
that's the beauty of art.
mhm,
That's the beauty of
I
art.
agree with you. Yeah.
I went through traumatic changes with that movie, so I'm glad
I
it's
will
okay. It's
I
not
will
for
say
everybody.
though, it is effective because I don't like the ocean.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
like the ocean. It scares me. I will only swim in places where I can see the bottom.
yeah.
I
So
don't know
go to
what's under
Aruba.
me.
You can see the bottom there.
I'll go to Aruba or, you know, the very shallow part of Hawaii where it's clear water. I'll go there, but especially where I live, you know, the water's over here. It's cold and you can't see anything, and so I'm like, no,
Mhm,
I'm good.
and guess what? You're on the same currents as Australia. They come over. Every once in a while, they come over.
Yeah, have you seen, you know, all the stuff? Shark Week, come on, there's some scary stuff under there.
Mhm. Yeah, dark ocean is scary.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
I don't know how many times I have said, "Did something just touch my foot?"
You know what? Yeah, I just thought it. You know what? Really want me to piss people off? Uh, I thought Deep Blue Sea. I had more fun with Deep Blue Sea than Jaws. I'm
Ah,
sorry.
ah.
I'm sorry. I had to do
My
it.
head is like a shark fin. You had more fun with that.
But
Oh, that's
yeah.
good. That's good. You know what? You just gave me clips for the week, so it's okay.
Hey, there you go. Hey, you know what?
But I will say
You
Jordan's a
got it.
great guy.
I'm really
Don't
not
yuck
all
his
that bad.
yum,
Okay.
and don't yum his yuck.
Yeah, there you go.
Deep Blue Sea is a fun movie. I
Yeah,
gotta pick up that Arrow set next time they
it's
have a
pretty
sale
cool.
or something.
Mhm. There's
Look
one,
at that. You're getting love for
comedy.
saying that.
Oh, Keith, he knows what's up.
Oh, man. So, I wanna thank you for coming on because this was
Mhm.
I knew it was gonna be fun. I knew we had, like, certain things in common, and
Yeah.
the vibe was definitely right. Um, tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me over on Instagram. The Instagram handle is kind of hard because unfortunately the movie Den was taken. So it's at the underscore movie underscore den underscore lots of underscores, but that's where you can find me on there. I'm always talking, hanging out. I'll talk to anybody who wants to talk to me about movies. Um, let's see, one more underscore under there.
At the end?
Yeah, there's an underscore at the end. Yeah, because that was taken.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah. So that's my find my Instagram there. On
I also
you
have your link tree in the description so
thank
then
you.
people can find your Instagram, your YouTube,
Mhm.
all that good stuff.
Yep, YouTube. Let's see. YouTube, obviously. I try to upload at least 4. That's usually my goal. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. Just
Mhm.
depends on how my week goes. I'm diving into Twitter. I was never big into Twitter. Even when Twitter first was a thing, I didn't get it. I'm reluctantly going in there, and you know, it's more of I know a lot of people are in there,
Yeah.
so I know it's a good way to, you know, get my name out. So that's why I'm on there. So you can find me there as well. That one is at without the underscore at the end. So I was able to score it there.
Yeah.
It's mainly those places,
So
YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter.
just to bring it back to how we started, you mentioned it once or twice. Before we get to number 5, talk about your relationship with the movie room and what is it?
I knew that was coming up. They're awesome. So they're like Orbit DVD, Atomic Movie Store. They're like that. They are a store. How I found out about them, I was just I was on Instagram one day and I saw a sponsored ad for the movie room, and I was like, oh, it's a new place. I'm always open to trying out new stores. I find out about there's so many out there. Brother Belial, Monster Mall. Oh, those are some new ones
Mhm.
I've never. There's a new one, Odyssey, that just came out.
I saw
So
that,
they were just doing a sale.
but they
So
got points. They got reward points.
they do. Well, so does the movie room now.
Ah,
Yeah. But anyways, I saw them. I was like, okay, I'll hit them up, or I'll try them out. So I ordered from them, and mind you, I live on the West Coast, and so the Orbits, the Diabolics, the Atomics, it takes me like a week to get my stuff, sometimes longer. Everything comes media mail, and I ain't gonna pay for more than that, And so I ordered, showed up at my house in 2 days. I was like, what
oh,
is
wow.
going on? Yeah.
Are they on the West
So
Coast?
they are San Francisco. So I
Say
looked them up
less.
and I was like, okay, sold. This is where I'm going to get my stuff, because, I get my stuff at a very fast pace, and, with reviews and stuff, I can get them out sooner to everyone. I'm going with them. Plus their packaging, I talk about this every time I open their stuff, is immaculate. I'm
Yeah,
telling
I
you,
love that.
it's crazy. The amount of bubble wrap, it's insane, but your stuff always shows up
Yeah,
great. So that's where that came in. Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
And he sometimes has stuff that's hard to find. Like he carries premium stuff sometimes. So
Mhm.
I've seen Manta Lab on there, which that's too rich for me. I can't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
They're cool though. Uh, but anyways, I found them and I was just really promoting them. This is before I was associated with them,
Mhm.
promoting them. And he hit me up one day and he's like, hey, we were starting this kind of affiliate program we wanted to try out, and just wanted to see if you wanted to join. I think it was the first one. And I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. And he gave me a code, and that was my first ever. And I was like, oh my gosh, like now I have a code. Like this is what I see, I'm not, who am I to do this? So
Right.
that's where that started. And he's been flourishing. Like I see so many people. He's gotten Steelbook Obsessed
Yeah.
is partnering with him now. I mean, so
Chris,
he's
once again.
Chris and someone else. I mean, he's doing really good for himself.
Yeah.
And what I love about him is a small husband and wife business. They work out of the garage of their house. So, and he's a movie collector himself, and he's really
Nice.
down to earth. I mean, he'll call me on the phone and we'll talk about stuff sometimes. And so he's a really, really cool dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, really personable.
I
Feels like a
like
best
that.
friend. Yeah. So that's my affiliation with the movie room is, yeah, I know I talk about them a lot, but I was talking about them before I was affiliated with them. And, he's a good friend of mine now. So
That's so cool.
yeah, they're really, really cool, really sweet couple. Go check them out if you haven't. Movie Den 10% off. So
Prince has one question before we land the plane. He wants to know your go-to feel-good serotonin boost movie.
oh, that's a good question. Um, you know what? Just because I had here, let me grab it real quick. Because I
Yeah.
was gonna actually show it. So 1 second.
While he's doing that, I want to thank everyone for hanging out tonight. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. Share the channel with them. Tell them to look in the live tab. We have a lot of great conversations, so definitely do that. Spread the word.
Okay. The Goonies.
Ah,
I
thanks,
love
Mom.
this. Yeah, so this was my mother's favorite movie growing up. She
Mhm.
watched this movie on repeat, and at a young age, she showed this to me. And this is before I knew who Sean Astin was. I knew who Corey Feldman was. I knew who Josh Brolin. I mean, you had a big cast in this.
Future
Uh,
stars.
yeah,
Popular at the time, but also future stars.
right. And so I was young. I didn't know who any of these people were.
Right.
I remember she told me, she goes, you know that kid right there, Sean Astin? I said, okay, I don't know who that is. She goes, well, he's in Lord of the Rings. It's like, no way, he's in Lord of the Rings. Yeah. So I always thought that was cool when I was young. But this is one of those movies that just, I can put it on. It just, if I'm having a bad day, Sandlot's
Mhm.
another great one. I grew up with Sandlot. That was another one of my kind of mom's favorite movie was The Sandlot,
Yeah.
makes you run faster and jump higher. PF Flyers. I love that movie. But The Goonies, I think this one just tops it. Chunk, one of my favorite characters of the whole movie. The
Mhm.
Truffle Shuffle. Uh, One of my favorite lines he has is he goes up, he goes, "Oh, I can really have a soda or whatever," and he opens up. Damn it! Just great movies.
Timing, comedic timing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love it.
When you watch interviews of him at that age, that's how he was as a person. It cracks me up every time I like go visit my mom. She usually has like the spray whipped cream, and I always
Mhm.
do it every time I say open up. Oh, am I depressed? And I'll take a shot. Yeah, and she just rolls her eyes. She goes every time, and I'm like, I love. It's why it's because of you. So yeah, this movie, if I'm having a rough day, I could just put this on, puts me in a good mood. It takes me back to a good time when I was young and
Mhm.
where, there wasn't a lot to worry about now that, older and life happens. So
Yeah.
for me, it's the Goonies.
I grew up on John Hughes movies, so Ferris Bueller is one for me,
Oh, great movie.
but then also and you would think not typical, I grew up watching a lot of, like, Shaw Brothers kung fu movies every
Really?
Saturday. It would show
Really?
on the local
Uh-huh.
channel. Culture Trinity, if you're still in here, tell them about, Channel 5 on Saturdays, 3 o'clock, the drive-in movie. They only showed kung fu movies. Bruce Lee, as I got older, they had other artists, Jackie Chan, but mostly Shaw Brothers. Like,
Very
if you
cool.
ever heard Enter the Wu-Tang and you're like, "How did they come up with all those samples?" They used to watch those kung fu flicks in New York City,
Really?
so
Yeah.
all those
Another
samples
one
came from that.
Yeah, another one that was big for me, you mentioned Bruce Lee, made me think of it. It's not Bruce Lee, it's about Bruce Lee. Enter the Dragon, or no, no, not
Dragon.
sorry, not just Dragon. Yeah,
Yeah.
that movie. When I was really young, I did karate when I was younger, and so it was always a movie that I loved, and so I had the DVD of it when I was really
Yeah.
little. Man, I still have it. I still have it down here,
Me
and
too, I got mine over there too.
and I got that new 4K, real nice. But the DVD, yeah, I watch that on repeat, and that's another one of those movies that I could just put on, and it just makes you feel good.
Yeah. I see Trini's still in here. Scarface, Enter the Dragon, and Goonies,
Mm,
top
The
3
Goonies,
favorites.
yeah,
Yeah,
can't
good
beat that
choices,
movie.
man. Yeah, mine was, like I said, Ferris Bueller, Five Deadly Venoms, or Five Venoms, as I
Mhm.
call it now. Um, and, those were and then because by the time I was older, like Nightmare on Elm Street, because I'm a Fred head, favorite
Yeah,
slasher, so
yeah.
could
I
always
mean,
go back to that.
I can even go, I talked about Disney. I mean, I can even go back to cartoons. I mean, that's another field. I can go back to
Oh,
the old
yeah.
classics,
Looney Tunes,
Mhm.
all the
The
old
big one for
Disney
me as a
stuff.
kid growing was Pinocchio. I loved Pinocchio, and I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
Pinocchio was a big one.
Wanna Be a
Aladdin was
Boy.
another one. I could throw those on and just my day will go away from me, and I could just get lost.
For me, with the kids, it was big because I would sit there and watch it with them, and then I realized, "Hey, they went to sleep, I'm still watching it."
You're just as even more, if not more invested.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
and that was something my
exactly.
dad really implemented in me was, like, the Looney Tunes,
Mhm.
all that stuff. So,
This has been fun, man.
it's
This
been a
has
lot
been
of fun.
fun.
It's been a lot of
Let's
fun.
land the plane with number 5 now that
Okay.
you've been through it. Number 5, who would you like to see me have a conversation with on this channel?
Oh, I've got a list for you, buddy.
Uh-oh,
Um,
you better text it to me.
no, I'll give you a few.
Yeah.
I think a big one. Of course, all my buddies that I talk to on the regular. I don't think you've had him. Chris. Bearded Film Guy,
I
Chris.
had him when he first started the channel.
Okay, okay. So it's been that far. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, my buddy
When
Steven.
Erica was his girlfriend, Erica. I
Oh,
always say
oh,
that.
okay. So we're talking, we're going back there.
Yeah, because it wasn't just my girlfriend or Erica, it was my girlfriend, Erica. It was like all together, one word.
My
My
girlfriend Erica.
girlfriend, Erica.
That's funny. Well, Steven, he After Hours Video, he's really big on Instagram. He does a lot of the shorts, and I've been really working with him, helping him get longer content out. I think
Mhm.
he'd be a really great one. Who else? You saw both of them in the chat. High Volume Video, Keith. Really big Criterion dude. So if you want to get into like the very fancy movies, that's your guy right there. And then GC up there is Face the Movies. He's become a really good friend of mine, and I think you will really enjoy his company as well. So definitely
I like
snag
that.
them. They're great guys over there.
I like that. Talking about that, you mentioned Criterion. For those of you keeping track, I will have another big Criterion fan in next week or so. I'm gonna have Daisuke Beppu. So he's coming on. You may know him. He was over in Tokyo and now he lives in LA. He is
Wow.
famous for having every Criterion in the collection
He's got his own
up until
Criterion
modern
closet.
day. Yeah. And he had his own Criterion closet in Tokyo. I know he
That's
misses
cool.
that. That was so cool.
And then Last Movie Standing's another great one. Brian, he's another good friend of mine. He's known as the American Pie dude. Like that, that's like his obsession is American Pie. He's known for that. So,
Funny. Of
yeah.
all things.
Oh, dude, it's funny. You look at his collection. He has like every American Pie release,
All the sequels.
all the sequels on tape, on VHS, DVD,
Yeah.
Blu-ray, all the editions. I think he's got might have a laser. I don't know. I know he's looking for one, I think. So
That's so funny.
yeah.
Oh man. I want to thank you again for coming on the conversation. I'm going to throw your name back up there one more
Oh,
time. There
thank
he
you. Thank
is.
you.
He is Jordan. He is at the Movie Den. Find him. The link tree is in the description. I'll add some more text later now that I know what we talked about.
Yeah.
And definitely give him a follow over there. Follow him on Instagram, all the good places, and check out his reviews. He has reviews on Letterboxd, and I just love seeing like a culmination of everyone that I follow on Letterboxd when I go to see a movie or I finally check something out just to
Yeah.
see what they all say. And like to see like the range, like 2.5 stars to 4.5 stars. Who has the most threes? Things
Yeah.
like
I need to get better at Letterbox. That's my, I'm
we all
terrible at
start
that.
somewhere, bro.
Yep.
We all start
And
somewhere.
then, I'm also want to kind of plug something real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing a giveaway. So I'll be announcing that soon. So just make sure to stay tuned for that.
Love that movie.
Yeah, dude. Have you gotten this release yet?
No.
Oh, the unrated or the director's cut in here?
Yeah.
Come on now. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great.
I've had 3 copies of the DVD, 2 copies of the Blu-ray because I keep losing them.
Uh-huh.
And I said, I'm only buying one 4K.
Yeah, well, there you go. You're not going to lose this. It's big, so it's going to be hard to lose.
And nobody's borrowing in that. So
Yeah, it's if you love The Crow, The Matrix, maybe a little bit of I can't think of the movie now. Harrison Ford, Blade Runner, any of those type of movies, you're like that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank everyone in the chat, everyone who's been lurking. We love you too. Everyone on the replay. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for joining us for another conversation. We'll be back next week. Tomorrow, I am recording a podcast episode. If you haven't checked out the audio only podcast, go ahead and do that. Easy to find the conversation with KB Loves Movies on anything that you listen to podcasts on. You will find us there, a production of somebody's favorite. So look for us there. And like I said, I could check my calendar right here. I have it in front of me. Next week, we will have QT, the movie collector.
Oh,
Yes.
dude, you're gonna have a good time with him. Q's another good buddy of mine, and
Yeah,
he,
man.
he's awesome. He's such a cool dude.
And then on next Friday, I will be on Really Old Movies, Harrison's channel, along with my man Nate from Geeks and Flicks. Girl, she's like 8 pounds and she's pushing into my stomach on my lap. Uh, we are going to review, if you know me, you know I love Sir Hitchcock. We are going to review the box set called House of Hitchcock. It covers all of Hitchcock's last movies. So everything from The Man Who Knew Too Much forward. So we're going to be getting into them, probably doing like 5 movies per episode. So over the next 3 weeks or so, go over to Really Old Movies, check out that channel, and we will be there just talking Hitchcock. You got to love it. So until next time, let's see. We got one more up. Everyone's saying good night. Thank you. Later. Yes. Thanks for checking in. Always good to see you. Have a good night.
Yeah.
And for everyone else, have a good night. And as I always say, go watch a movie. It's a good night for that. Go do that.
See you guys later.